Hawaii. Between the pristine beaches and perfect climate, it's no wonder this island is a hotspot for adventurers and honeymooners. But often overlooked by visitors is a rich and ancient Hawaiian culture, a culture that is actually threatened by these massive imports. But even in the face of globalization, a new wave of sustainable living is reshaping modern Hawaii. Today we discover the ancient customs of this great island.
It's cultural custom to be greeted and be laid.
And marvel at beautiful Waikiki beach.
You work in one of the best places in the world.
We meet a chef known for his authentic seasonal cuisine.
When they come to the restaurant, they taste Hawaii.
Derek gives us a tour of his organic farm.
Even the face of farming is changing. It looked a little older. We're trying to make it look a little younger.
And teaches us the importance of farming.
It's good to get out with in the soil and see where it's all happening.
And of course, we couldn't leave without tasting what we'd picked.
I mean, whoever knew a turnip could be so good?
For centuries, celebration has remained a fundamental aspect of Hawaiian culture. Through song, dance, and unforgettable feast, the Luau encapsulates life on the island.
Hey, Harry. Great to meet you. Now, they've told me that you are the man to go to for everything luau.
Yeah, this is the place to be here at the Royal Hawaiian.
Am I saying it right? Luau?
Luau.
Luau. That sounds so much better when you do it.
So a luau consists of multiple things. It's dance, as well as celebration and food and gathering. And that's what a luau is. And there's a lot of fire dancing, a hula, as well as different parts of the culture of aspect of Hawaii.
The luau is very important to Hawaiians, right?
A luau is a part of celebration. It's a part of bringing families together and celebrating, whether it's a child's birth or a marriage.
So it was not done every night. This is something that was done, when there's something, a special occasion.
So when you enter a luau, it's cultural custom to be greeted and be laid. So as you get a lei, it's welcoming or bringing you to say, welcome, come aboard here in Hawaii. Right now at the luau, what we have is one of the Hawaiian guys pounding out a little bit of poi, or the Hawaiian kalo. We also have a woman over there. She's in her dress making and weaving a little bit of strands of lauhala leaf, which is from the trees, what they would make to build their skirts. And as you see on the side, they're throwing up their knives and doing the fire dancing. And off to the side, they're doing some nice hula.
Beyond the festivities and entertainment, the elaborate feast represents unity and inclusion. A celebration not only of Hawaii, but of humanity.
The food is the main part of the celebration.
Okay.
And that's where you have traditionally imu, which is they cook the pig underground, a whole pig, which you would catch in the wild, salt it, cure it, and then cook it with banana leaves and put lava rocks on top of that and cook it underground, called an imu. So today in our luau, we are not having wild pig, but we do have local farm-raised pigs.
Yep.
And we shred that tableside for our guests. We have multiple things. We have traditional ahi poke. We have a little bit of poi and lomi salmon. We also have some nice salads and different local farm-to-table produce that we have here in the islands. So what we have here is we have our vegetarian curry.
So you cater for everybody here?
We cater for everyone. We have our nice local vegetables, roasted and sauteed, also wok fried.
What's this here?
So what we have is a little bit of Japanese eggplant, Chinese long beans, mushrooms grown on the Big Island, local pumpkin and choy sum.
Yeah, I love that. So you got locally grown produce here.
And then we've got our huli huli chicken. So huli huli means to flip, and we actually marinate it with a little bit of Filipino influence adobo sauce. And this is our local style kalbi beef. We grilled that. We basically marinated with a little bit of soy, ginger, and garlic and chili.
And this is the fish.
The fish what we have is a monchong, which is caught at our auction block at the pier. And we serve that a little bit with Chinese style with a little soy and ginger, a little bit of fresh scallions and cilantro, and a little bit of chili.
Smells amazing. I'm going to be having some of that. My first luau is shaping up to be something special. So the indigenous Hawaiians who lived here for thousands of years, working the land was a big part of who they are and part of their culture, right?
Absolutely, and that's something that from in the past we're trying to cultivate now in modern times and keep that practice of sustainability and that farm to table. And so us chefs now in modern day are here to really support our local farmers and the aquaculture as well as the agriculture as well as the ranching. So we actually have farms off on the Big Island who actually are raising abalone, lobster, and cold water fish over called kampachi, or the Hawaii kampachi. I actually am a spearfisher, so I actually, believe it or not, gone spearfishing out here. Just out here.
Wow.
And we catch octopus, different species of fish, but it's definitely not as populated in terms of fish as they used to be back in the day.
I mean, this is all wetlands, wasn't it, at one stage? Like a little jungle.
It actually was, believe it or not, all of Moana and Waikiki were actually marshes or, wetlands. And so, due to, modern times and things, that they were able to dredge and put more sand and pump it out from the deep sea so that we could have it as a tourist destination.
Restoring Waikiki Beach has allowed for tourism to boom in Hawaii, but beyond this traveller's mecca lies hidden local gems. Outside the hustle and bustle of Waikiki are some of Hawaii's most authentic dishes, and I've been told Alan Wong has some of the best.
Aloha, Gary.
Great to meet you. I always love that aloha. You always know where you are when you hear that welcome, right?
Aloha again.
This restaurant is located kind of like away from the kind of tourist area, I guess. This is kind of more where locals kind of would come. You have a wonderful view of the mountains here, which is stunning. How many years have you been here for?
We opened in 1995, 24 years almost, come April.
What are you going to do for us today? What's going on here?
I'm going to tell you a little story
Okay.
about a little bit of Hawaii regional cuisine, which is our style here. Involves just a little bit of history, but a lot of tasting for you.
Well, I'm hungry, so that's good. When you first started, everything was imported, which imported from elsewhere, all the produce, right?
Uh-huh.
And you obviously didn't like that idea.
Well, it's not a self-sufficient, not a sustainable Hawaii. We import over 85% of our food into Hawaii. That if we can move this dial back 10% to 75%, all these great things happen. We create 2,300 jobs, generate $6 million in taxes. The farming community gets $94 million. Our state's economy gets $188 million.
What?
But more important, we can feed ourselves a little bit better than now. We need to keep more food in Hawaii, export less, and we need to have more farmers growing more things. So one of the things that I want our guests to experience is when they come to the restaurant, they taste Hawaii. I got some tea for you. This is mamaki tea.
Okay.
It's made from the white mulberry tree. The old Hawaiians use that for cleansing.
So good.
No caffeine. The liquid is 100% tea. Well, 95.
Why is it so creamy?
Because it has the flavors of coconut and taro.
Wow.
And so the coconut and taro in old Hawaii were big staples of the cuisine.
How much taro do you use in your menu?
That depends. We make our menus every day different. We date the menus, and so it depends on how you feel, what you're inspired to do. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, that's a very full flavour.
Eat that ball, which looks like a truffle,
Okay.
but that's just 100% taro.
Oh wow.
That's the real deal.
Wow. It's. I wouldn't say it's the sweetest thing I've ever tasted, but I could certainly see why Hawaiians in that time when they weren't exposed to all the sugars and everything that we eat today, they would love this. It's very hearty, like a potato.
So when you taste Hawaii, it means the fruits and vegetables that we grow here. It's everything as locally raised and grown as possible, or produced locally possible.
Yeah.
So you taste Hawaii.
This is our pre-Captain Cook Poké. And I got you're eating history here, right?
A little bit.
So this is kind of like some kind of indigenous ingredients here, right?
Well, you have to go back to pre-Captain Cook.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they were cutting with bone and with stone.
Wow.
And so this was before onions, scallions, chili peppers came.
Yeah.
They had sea salt. Well, you know, salt used to be like money. Celery comes from S-A-L. In French, they say salt, S-E-L. Sal, right?
Yes.
So the theory was, if you didn't have salt, you were not going to live, because this was a way to preserve food.
That's so
But
true.
they bartered with this. They
Okay.
traded for this.
Wow.
This is very important because you could preserve food, and it made your food not boring.
Even here in Hawaii, that was the case.
These are 3 types of seaweed, but this is so simple that we're about almost done. Okay.
Oh, really?
This
So
is
we just started.
limu kohu.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna and a little bit of this.
Thank you.
Simple.
Really simple. Really kind of organic. And I love the salty pieces because they're like little surprises.
Like little crystals, huh?
Little crystals that you just bite into, and just stunning. That fish is so fresh. What an honor to have the chef who cooked the food sitting with me while I taste it. Okay.
Okay, so this is a poke.
This is the poke we would have before.
Yeah.
Just done in a more elegant, fine dining way. In here we have some avocado, right?
And avocado salsa with ginger and sake. Make sure you get all the 3 layers.
Yeah.
Pink cheesecake.
Wow. There are so many flavors going on here, from the wasabi on the side, the crunchiness of the chips below, and the ginger, and the poke. It is just an all-round mouth explosion. Now this looks great.
Coconut.
Look at that. I almost feel like it's such a shame, this sculpture, to be able to eat this. It's just such a...
That's actually chocolate. It's not a coconut shell. You can eat the whole thing.
Wow. That is really something else. Honestly, that's just like a work of art. What a great way to finish a meal.
Alan Wong's dedication to a seasonal menu has established him as a pioneer for self-sufficient Hawaii. More than a trend, relying on the land is essential to native Hawaiian life, both with the restaurant and on the farms. Mao Farm is located on the west side of Oahu. Locals refer to this place as Waia'ani, and in ancient times this area was a self-sufficient region that produced a lot of food.
Rain or shine, one thing about being a farmer, you know, like everybody got to eat, and everyone's always eating, even on holidays, you know, and even on rainy days. And so we're out there with our raincoats, still coming in at 5 in the morning, trying to get that order out.
You guys are taking it for the team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, someone's got to do it.
We're in a kind of a cool little area here, aren't we? I mean, but this is a valley from prehistoric times, right?
Basically. I don't think they found any dinosaur bones yet, but I'm sure there is somewhere back here.
Well, wasn't Jurassic Park kind of filmed?
Yeah, it was. Okay, that's kind of funny. Not in this area or this caldera, but in the Ko'olau.
The Hawaiian people work is a big spiritual part of their life.
Yeah, for sure. Part of our Hawaiians' identity is basically with the land, this relationship with the land.
Yeah.
You know, there's even a story of, I don't know if you guys know of like a taro plant or a kalua plant. Yeah, and so basically that's seen as one of their ancestors, typically called haloa. Pre-contact, the Hawaiian people were self-sustaining, you know. There's records of there being upwards of 1 million people on this island.
Wow.
And being able to sustain themselves.
Yeah, most of the young adults who live in this community are Native Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And as Native Hawaiians, you know, we lived on these islands for hundreds of years. We're completely self-sufficient. We had our own economy, our own ways of growing food and caring for each other.
Recently, Waini residents have witnessed the gradual overdevelopment of their resources. Urbanisation has shrunk their land and stolen their water. The locals are forced to disconnect from the land that raised them.
And we see the poverty that is being manifested in contemporary society as recent and learned behavior.
Yeah.
And that was a function of us being dispossessed of our practices and being dispossessed of ownership of our land.
Mao Organic Farms offers a variety of communal programs dedicated to building and educating their community. Waini residents are remaining faithful to a traditional rural vision despite these difficult circumstances.
Farming is looked at as a, the job for the lower people, you know what I mean? Or that it's not a job that, for akamai or for smart people, but it's, we're definitely changing that. Even the face of farming is changing. It looked a little older. We're trying to make it look a little younger. I gotta shave. If I shaved, it'd look even younger. You guys brought the rain, man.
I know, man. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Nothing wrong with a little bit of rain.
So you really did it in full drive here, right?
Yeah. It doesn't need to be right now. There's just a few areas that we will get stuck if I'm not in full drive.
Okay.
But
especially when it rains out here, right?
Yeah. Alrighty.
It's good to get out where in the soil and
see
where it's all happening.
It's good for exfoliation, I think, of the toes and the face and whatever.
So what are we growing here?
Mostly salads, some bunches, radish, because radish grows super quick.
Now you're not using any chemicals here, obviously, because it's
No,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
So how do you keep the bugs off it?
Shoots, we yell at them, really. The bugs usually only come after a certain age. Also, what we do is crop rotation, and so this field, it's a salad rotation right now, but the next rotation in will be roots or something. And so
great.
The rotation prior to this was slightly different as well.
Which means the bugs would have been attracted to the salad.
Exactly,
have now come. Sorry, fellas, there's nothing here for you.
Yeah, exactly. We're just trying to confuse them a little bit. They're still pretty smart. Yeah, and so one of the other things that we do basically to manage pests is we'll basically grow between these beds, we'll grow citrus. And so right here we have some lemons. Those far beds, we have lime trees and also some oranges. Well, basically they act as a habitat for beneficial bugs to basically
kill the other bugs.
Yeah, kill the other pests. Yeah, we're
you guys are
it's
creating
king of the jungle. You know,
it's great.
Yeah. And so right here, this is what we call French breakfast radish. We grow roughly about 3 to 4 different varieties.
So what do you do?
And so all you're doing is put, so you want to basically get as close to the root as possible.
Yeah.
And put this so you don't break the leaves. We still need the leaves. So some of these radish, they're on the smaller side, but one thing we notice is, and shucks, even our ancestors kind of notice things too, but sometimes bigger isn't always better. Okay. You know, especially in terms of flavor.
Yeah. I mean, these aren't very big, but
yeah.
But they look really delicious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So these go back to the shed, and then they get washed. I guess.
Yep, they get washed and then packaged as well.
Perfect.
The economic impact of food imported here is significant. Hawaii imports nearly 90% of its food at a cost of more than $3 billion a year.
The amount of tons you guys do per year, it's not a big operation for the amount the output.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing that's crazy is even with the amount that we do, there is still a huge puka or a huge hole in our food system. You know,
Really?
we're still importing upwards of just about 90% of our food.
For real?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's an epidemic that just isn't viewed as an epidemic for Hawaii. You know, we're a small island. We're surrounded by water. The worst thing we could do is have things, you know, be dependent on imports.
Fresh ingredients like this should be eaten locally. The Farm to Table initiative is slowly emerging within the islands of Hawaii. With rich resources in their backyard, restaurants like Mud Hen can serve up delectable, healthy, and locally fresh meals.
Hey, good to meet you.
Welcome.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
That's Hawaii right there. This is what life's about here, right?
Right, exactly. So when we opened town, we wanted to have a little simple neighborhood restaurant that had that same commitment to the local farmers, but you could come in and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the same day if you wanted to.
I mean, what would be the percentage of your menu that would be locally grown?
Phew, I'm embarrassed to say because we are the poster children for the movement, but we're still only at around 65%.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. We don't have rice, we don't have flour, we don't have wine or beer or wheat. So there's a lot of things that we've got to bring in still, but I'd say in the last 15 years, our ability to source local has probably doubled.
So we got some turnips for you.
This is the yellow box. It's like Christmas.
Okay.
Every day when these all show up. So these are the turnips that you folks.
Oh, they're cleaned up. Last time we saw them, they were kind of like really dirty. So I'm so glad they look better.
It's the best tasting dirt you'll ever have.
Do you know that they look really happy in the ground, by the way?
These turnips are just thriving. It's the ideal growing condition.
And you guys had so much rain as well, which you can tell. Look, I mean, look how much water is in there.
First thing you do whenever we get something from Mao is I shove it in my mouth. Give it a try. It's that crunch, and it's just an explosion of flavor in your mouth, right? I mean, whoever knew a turnip could be so good?
It tastes like fruit. It's crispy. It's like an apple.
Mm-hmm. Why would I do anything with this except just serve it?
Well, hang on. My next question is, what are you going to be doing for us today? Sure, you're going to cook it or something, right?
I don't think so. I mean, why would I get rid of that burst of watery juiciness and that crunch? Every table that comes into Mud Hen Water starts out with a poo-poo course.
Okay.
That's what we call it in Hawaii, poo-poos. But it's not what you think.
Okay.
It's also known as an amuse-bouche elsewhere.
Okay.
Just a little free taste tantalizer to get them in the spirit.
Yeah, and the palate going, right?
What I was thinking we'd probably do with this is just clean these up a little bit. Yep. I mean, they're so beautiful. There's almost no blemishes. There's not much you have to do.
I'm not going to say it's a dirt taste to it, but it's a mustard taste I can taste in that turnip.
I mean, the soil out there, if you notice, is just dark black.
Yep.
It's called vertisol. It's only found in two places on Earth, or someplace in Africa and Luau Valley, where you.
No way.
And what it's known for is it's a clay soil that cracks, so it kind of self-composts. You gonna hand me one of those boards over there?
Yes, sir.
Maybe the second or third one down.
There we go.
There you go. So we'll start with just sending something out this to a two-top. Because of the mustardy kind of nature of the turnips, I thought some pickled mustard seeds.
Great idea.
This is something we've always got in our pantry. It's like little vegan caviar pearls.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look at that. We add a little inamona dukkha.
Yep.
Most every course we try to incorporate not only a local ingredient but an indigenous ingredient. It's also mixed with a little bit of coconut. We've got some lavender from the island of Maui. And I'm thinking this is just something that will drop down when people first
That's great.
show up.
Let's give it a taste, shall we? Oh, yeah. Ed, really clean.
So these people kind of already going, oh, we're going to be in for a journey.
One thing I love about what we just did is not only do we eat something that was organic, that represents Hawaii, but it's about what these guys are doing on the farm with the local community there, right? Mm-hmm. That just tasted a little bit better.
I'm so glad you said that.
From farm to table, restaurants like Mud Hen are preserving this ancient Hawaiian culture. Thank you so much for joining us on the tour today. Join us next time as we continue our tasting journey throughout America.